Hi, it's Laura from the Charleston Holistic Center. And our theme for this next group is the well, which has a lot of different connotations. The well is the place where you get your water. The well is one of the most important places. And you don't want a polluted well. You want a well that's clean. So it's a lot about communication. So this one might be a little longer. Sorry. So I was talking in meditation class today about what happened last week during the Walk for the World meditation. So this is actually going to come out a week after that. Um, and I made a bunch of realizations. And I said, if one particular card came up, then I would discuss with you what happened to me during the Walk for the World meditation. And that card had to be perseverance. Sorry. And there it is. It's what came up. Because that was the theme for the meditation for me. So the night before, I downloaded everything, checked it on my phone, made sure that my earbuds were going to work well. I don't use the pods because the Bluetooth and me doesn't work all that well. So yeah, I use earbuds. Made sure everything was set. Made sure my husband was all set. And then we were a little late leaving our room. And so he was all worried that we weren't going to go get to the spot where we were going to start in time. And I said, well, we can just start whenever. And we got to a spot and it was kind of shady in the parking lot. And I was like, there's a nice tree there. We can just start here. So he did. He went and leaned up against a tree and started. And then I hit play. Nothing. Nothing. And it kept being nothing for minutes and minutes, nothing. And there was this pair of hawks up in the tree screaming. And then I got it started, and then finally got it to play. And then Google Assistant kept interrupting me literally every between 3 and 7 seconds. I didn't even have it on my phone. And then the hawks flew off back toward where our room was, and I was so upset. It was like 20 minutes in at this point. I'm like, fine, I'll just go back and I'll just lay down and do a meditation. But I got into the room and there was a beautiful window and sliding door at the other end of it, and a tall wall right behind it. And there, sitting on the wall, were the hawks yelling. So I sat down in the chair and I kept trying. I kept trying. The phone was doing stupid things, like telling me I was driving and turning the volume on and off and Google Assistant. And finally, I texted a rude text to the thing when I shook the phone, the shake and send thing. I set the phone down and I'm like, fine, I'll just go get my iPad and I'll carry my iPad and I don't care how stupid I look. Set the phone down. And while I was thinking that, hawks were still on the wall behind me, yelling. And my phone went blank. And then it came back up. And then I realized it was playing the meditation. The hawk screamed one more time and flew away. I got up, stuck my earbuds in. I was like, "Oh, I got what?" Because you're supposed to stand to start the meditation, and I leaned against the counter inside the door, um, and finished. And then I went out and walked. In the middle of the meditation, you stop and stand again, and it's supposed to close your eyes. And I did that, and I was leaning up against this tree right by this stop sign in the parking lot. All of a sudden, I hear the hawk scream like really close. I open my eyes. One is sitting on the stop sign. The other is sitting on this electrical pole that's there. And they're looking right at me and they screamed at me. They screamed at me again and then they flew off. And I was like, okay, I'm supposed to have my eyes open. Don't shut your eyes again while you stand there. And people were pulling up to the stop sign. And this was in Orlando, well, Kissimmee. And they're on their way to the parks with their kids in the car. And 3 different times, the kids looked at me and were like, all 3 of them were like, Mommy, why is there a woman standing by the tree? 2 times, the mothers looked straight at me and said, What woman? As they were pulling off. Third time, the mother didn't even look up from her phone. But interesting, huh? Hmm. The kids could see something that the parents couldn't at that time. Matter of fact, one of the parents said, You need to get into reality. I'm like, hmm, reality, huh? Whose reality? So, several different lessons here. Perseverance. It wasn't until 30 minutes into when everybody else was walking that I finally got my thing to work. 30 minutes. I persisted for 30 minutes and then had an amazing experience. How many of you out there would persist past 30 seconds? We're such a now world, right? Now. Not that we're in the now, but we want it now. Persistence gets you someplace different. You can't level up. You can't figure out new things. You can't communicate clearly with your soul if you don't persist. Another takeaway? Whose reality? Just saying. Thank you and namaste.